Last session, a bill was introduced to repeal the right to work but did not pass. In the 2019 Assembly, collective bargaining was established, but state workers were left behind. What are your thoughts on repealing right to work and workers' rights? Would you support measures to allow state workers to collectively bargain? So I will read it one more time. Currently, Virginia is a right to work state and ranks last in workers' rights. Last session, a bill was introduced to repeal the right to work and did not pass. In the 2019 Assembly, collective bargaining was established, but state workers were left behind. What are your thoughts on repealing right to work and workers' rights? Would you support measures to allow state workers to collectively bargain? Naisha, you will go first, and your 90 seconds start now.
I know what it's like to fight for my rights and working, but I can assure you this: I will fight to make sure that everyone has the ability to work and for equal pay. Um, I worked in a male-dominated IT industry for a very long time, and um, as a woman working in that industry, uh, and that environment was so toxic at times. And I had to battle with dealing with unequal pay. I had to deal with um, not being able to um, progress in my field. And so I know what it's like just to be in that industry or to be a worker wanting to fulfill and get equal rights. So I will fight for everyone to be able to have the right, women especially, for equal rights, equal pay, equity in our workplace. And that's all I can say about that.
Thank you, Naisha. Candy, you will go next. Your
Sure.
30 seconds start.
Sure. I am a very proud wife of a union member who has been on the ground fighting for 15, fighting to end right to work. And I know how hard that work is. As our delegate, I would fight to repeal right to work. It's simple. The origins of this legislation in Virginia is steeped in the Jim Crow South that wanted to punish the working class that built this country, that built this economy. And it's time for it to go. Not only is it time for it to go, it's time for us to work towards paid leave. Collective bargaining is the way to move in the direction of every worker having a seat at the table. For me, it is not okay to leave any workers behind. All of the people who have been the backbone of our economy, especially over the last few months, the fast food workers, the grocery store workers, our teachers, all of these people would benefit from being able to unionize. And not only would they benefit, in communities with strong unions, you have better jobs, you have better pay, and then you also have more revenue for your school and important infrastructure like transportation. So, in short, it is time for right to work to go.
Thank you, Candy. Okay, so then we have Pam.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
I'm very familiar with unions and the right to work. I grew up as the daughter of a man who was a laborer who worked for, who was a member of the union. And it was that union job that allowed us to move into the middle class. Back then, he was able to uh, raise 6 children on a good paying union job with health benefits, overtime pay, and other generous benefits. So I do believe in repealing right to work. It's time for Virginia to move forward. Being able to have a union should be a universal right of all workers. It's almost like we're back 100 years ago when people were opposed to unions. It's the 21st century. People should have the right to unionize and to make sure that they can bargain for rights that are essential for them to raise a family today in Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Rosha, you have 90 seconds.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this question. I have spoken to countless constituents who were part of unions, and I did tell them if I am elected as your delegate, I will repeal the right to work. I support unions. I believe in unions. My stepmom is a part of unions, and majority of my literature that I have been passing out in Stafford and Prince William County were union printed. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so with that, we're going to go to